just updating you. Find this surreal. May the 4th be with you, children. Where did we go? What did we do? Hey guys. So, I finished the first 5 chapters of ACOTAR, and so far, just a reminder, this is a spoiler-filled vlog, but Nesta don't like. I know that apparently you can change your mind about her, but as of right now, I don't like her. Elaine seems like a bit of a clingy annoyance, and yeah, it's just got to the point where Feyre is now being taken by the beastly Fae, and so far it's intriguing me. I spoke to Liam as well, and he's in the same mindset as me. He's like, they didn't purposely leave it on a chapter where it was like suspense, but we've left it on a chapter where it's like suspense, what's going to happen next. Obviously we know that he's taken her, and it seems like he's knocked her out with some kind of magic, because she was thinking about some things like trying to kill him. But yeah, so far so good. So tomorrow is the next lot of chapters, and I'm looking forward to it. I am really looking forward to it. So we'll see where it goes. Different setting. So this is day 2 of my buddy read. So let's see where Feyre takes us.
If you only knew who I am, normally I'd break your heart. I'd love every minute, tear you apart. Late at night I lie awake, just thinking about your pretty face.
Hi. I've just read the next 5 chapters, and should I like Lucian? I don't know. Should I? I do. Tamlin is a bit... you can feel that they're hiding things from her, but yeah. I don't know. I'm liking Feyre as a character, strong-willed. But yeah, I like Lucian as it stands at the moment. He's just sassy as fuck. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. This could be... I don't know if it's because I'm reading it in like sections and I'm waiting like a day to read it, but like the intrigue is like top tier. So yeah, see how the next lot of chapters go. 36 more to go. Hey, so ignore, I'm gonna sort this whole shablam out. Just updating you on day 3 of my ACOTAR buddy read, and we have got to the point where she's decided that she's probably not going to try and leave anymore, but she wants to get a message out to her family that the possible blight that has affected the Fae's magic in Prythian is going to be getting out at some point. They don't know when, but her family are going to be at risk. But downside, she doesn't know how to read and write, so which is possibly why she's a fan of painting. Her mum's never really deemed her important enough to teach, so she attempts to warn her family by learning how to read and write. So then there's a scene where she's being brought into what they call a study, but she said that it could also be called a library, but the study's less intimidating. And that whole scene reminded me of when the Beast took Belle into the library. So there's very much, you could definitely tell like the correlation between like the Beast, the Beauty and the Beast, and this. Sort of like how he's described, how he acts and things like that. And he's not just a fairy, and like how she describes his personality, and like he's very grumpy, and he is the Beast personified basically. You could tell he's starting to care about her, and she's starting to care about him, but she doesn't want to acknowledge that she's starting to care about him. So that's the thing. She's just been in the woods and she's trying to find out more from this, I can't remember what it's called now, this fairy that she caught, and then it all went wrong and the Beast saved her. And then obviously that was kind of a point where she's like, ooh, he saved me. And then that also reminded me of the scene where Belle tried to run away and the Beast saved her from the wolves. So although it's slightly different sort of setup, it's sort of following in the moment a similar sort of trajectory. So the Beast has taken her, trying to get away, he saved her life, got secrets. Lucian, I'm not sure about Lucian, because he said that he was going to hypothetically, potentially hear someone if they were to scream in the woods after telling her where this other fairy could be caught from. And then he wasn't there, and it was Tamlin that turned up. So Liam's under the impression that Lucian didn't turn up because maybe he didn't get there in time. But my impression right now at this moment in time is that he didn't turn up because he was setting her up and he wanted her to fail and either get... I've forgotten what this friggin' thing was called. What was it called? Cereal. This cereal that was some kind of ugly sounding fairy. I think he was hoping that she would get hurt by the cereal, or these things called Naga that heard the cereal scream. That are these dark demon creatures with claws and things, and they're only able to get access to get that close to the boundaries of where they live because of this blight and this magic that they're losing. It's all very complicated, and there's still some things that are being hidden, and I don't know what it is. And I'm probably because I'm cynical, I think Lucian helped her find this cereal because he wanted her to get it wrong, and he wanted the cereal to get her, and he wanted to give her the impression that, you know, if it was all to go to shit, that he would be there for her and he would find her and he would help her. But then he didn't. But we'll see whether that is the case or not, whether Lucian really is a bad guy. But as of right now, I'm thinking he purposely didn't turn up and help her. Liam's thinking it was an act, like he just didn't get to her in time. So we'll see if any of, see which it is, if we're right. I think I'm right, but we'll see. There's a lot about this, obviously, because I've not read any spoiler-filled vlogs. There's a lot about this that is not really talked about. When people talk about it, they think, they talk about, oh yeah, it's smutty, it's a romance. But it is quite political as well. And at the beginning, it is very angsty. I think at this moment in time, you can see that they're starting to feel things for each other. She maybe doesn't think he's a beast as evil as she wants to think him to be, as the way that she's been brought up to think. And he's giving her some sort of backhanded compliments. And he's trying to help her learn how to read. And he's even offered to send a letter to her family. So he's warming up to her. But you can tell that it's hard for both of them to open up to each other and trust each other, which is obvious. But yeah, I'm enjoying it so far. I can't wait to read the next 5 chapters. I really want to just crack on and read the next 5 chapters, if I'm honest. But I'm going to be good. I'm going to wait until tomorrow because I don't want to read ahead, and we'll see what the situation is with that. I'm excited. We'll see. Hi, welcome, hello, hi. So we are on, what day are we on? It's May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. Yes, I said it. Am I a loser? Possibly, but we are now almost halfway through the book. So I have, you have tarts. Sarah J. Maas, the way she writes, this is from a first person perspective, but unlike some other first person perspectives I've read, you don't feel like you're constricted inside Fairy's head. Obviously a lot of it, it's all from her perspective, so yes, it is biased, it's gonna be, but you can still feel the way that she still sort of, whether she explains things, she notices like Tamlin's feelings and Lucian's feelings, so you're not just getting her feelings even though it's from her perspective, you're getting what other people are feeling as well, which is good. It's a great way of writing. This whole reading 5 chapters a day is killing me because the end of chapter 20 is when this handsome, the most beautiful man she's ever seen, saves her from some really icky fae. So I'm guessing that's re-signed before I even read further. Bear in mind, I know that I'm late to reading this, but I've seen people's reviews on it, so I know what other people's opinions are, but I've not read any spoiler-filled reviews or spoiler-filled vlogs, so I don't know exactly what happens in the book. Obviously, I know the basic premise, it's a Beauty and Beast retelling. I know some of the main characters' names because they're thrown about a lot, which is why I'm guessing it's Rhysand, because we've not met Rhysand yet. I think there's another person called Cassian. I don't know when he comes into it either, but yeah, this guy has just saved her from these icky fae at this Fire Night festival thing. I'm really intrigued about what is going on. Obviously, they keep mentioning this woman that's just referred to as she, and she seems to have control over everything, but we still don't know who she is, and it's annoying me so much that she seems to be like this poor guy, this poor fairy had his freaking wings ripped off and he bled out in front of Fairy, which, oh my god, that was gruesome. If I'd have had any inkling that this was a YA, it's gone out the window. I don't know, I know that YAs can be gruesome, but I definitely feel like this does edge towards adult more, and especially now that I know that the spicy themes in this potentially to come, I don't know if they're in this book or if they're in the ones after, but the spicier themes are more adult, so I've had confirmation that this is adult. Tamlin. I know that this book is supposed to make you feel for Tamlin, and because over time the way that the Beast's heart starts to soften, it's sort of following that thing where like Tamlin's heart starting to soften, but they do keep saying he's got a heart of stone or a stone heart, whether that's literal or what's the other word, like metaphorically, that's it. I don't know if it's metaphorical or literal, but it's been mentioned a couple of times that he has a stone heart or something along those lines, but I want to just read the rest of this. I'm really trying not to just give everything I read 5 stars, but when I really enjoy something and I feel myself on a journey, like, I just want to give it 5 stars. And so far I want to give this 5 stars. There's nothing about this first half, or almost half, that I have not enjoyed, and the intrigue is high. I want to continue reading. If it wasn't for my buddy read, like I said yesterday, I would have just continued to read this until I finished it, and this would have been finished by now. I'm liking doing the buddy read though, because it sorry if I sound a bit sniffly, I've suddenly got really sniffly. I really enjoy the buddy read because it's fun to get someone else's opinion on what's going on as they read it. Like, I'm loving it. Like, is he loving it too? So I'm liking, because he reads different things to me. See, he's just finished It, and it is probably not my kind of thing. For someone like me, who the majority of my collection is fantasy, it's nice to sort of get someone else's perspective on things. So I'm really intrigued, and I want to know what these masks are. Clearly it's some kind of something to do with, it's been mentioned it's something to do with this magic, but I really want to know why only like the High Lords, the High Court, seem to have these masks. Because the fairy that this she ripped the wings from, I don't know where they were from, but they did have a mask over the face. So there's that. So there's the intrigue about what's happening with Tamlin, because clearly feelings are being felt on both parts. So that, I want to see where that goes. There's this new guy that's turned up. Sorry, I'm flipping you off there. There's this new guy that's turned up that she thinks is the most beautiful person she's ever seen, beautiful man she's ever seen. Is it Rhysand? What's happening with Rhysand? I don't know. And then there's this mask thing, and there's a she that we don't know. And then I want to believe that Lucian is good. I really want to believe that Lucian is good, but something's still niggling at me that he might turn out to be a bad person. But that's just because, from what I'm basic, probably because I'm a cynical person, and there's so many times where someone's right hand man has turned out to be an evil son of a bitch, and I really don't want that to be Lucian, because I like him a lot. Yeah, Lucian is just, he clearly is starting to like Feyre as well, and like having her around, but obviously because of what's happened in his past, and I am not surprised he doesn't trust people. I'm not surprised he is the way he is, after what his own family did to him, like killing the woman he loves in front of him. My God, I was tearing up at that point. I was like, take me. I don't understand. I know that, oh my God, I couldn't deal. Like, I don't know how. I know it's fiction, but that had me gripped. And because that's happened to him, and because Tamlin sort of like took him in, gave him the title of emissary, has helped him after his family tried to kill him, I'm hoping that means that loyalty he has to Tamlin stays, and that he is genuinely a good guy. And I don't want Tamlin to turn out to be I don't want Tamlin to turn out to be an arsehole either, to be fair. We'll see. But yeah, I'm really liking it, and I can't wait to read the rest of it. So that will be tomorrow. I can't wait. Peace. Hi. Ignore the mess, but I'm coming at you with an ACOTAR update. I really wish we'd have said like 10 chapters a day instead of 5, because I am eating this up. I am now here, and we have now got to the stage where they've kissed, and there's feelings and bitter. That bit was a bit like, wasn't, I know why he bit her, like, still in sort of like feral Tamlin mode, you know, from the Fire Knight magic that was like searing through him. But I wasn't a fan of like the biting and the fact that she, I mean, I know that that's some people, I am not kink shaming, I know that some people do like the pain, and there's that whole sort of like kink of pain and pleasure and that kind of thing, and I'm not, it's just not for me. So like reading it was just sort of like, So that side of it was, it wasn't too much, but it was just sort of like, yeah, she was getting off on him biting her. Fair dues if you're into that. But the tension, the chemistry, the top tier, like, and I like the fact that it has taken up until chapter 26. Well, it was sort of like in the 20s. It took for them to actually sort of kind of admit to each other and like let the guards down and like show that they had feelings for each other, and that it was more that there was something there. I was glad that it took that long, and it wasn't sort of like she was captured, one minute she hates him, next minute she loves him, and then, do you know what I mean? It's taken us just over halfway through the book to go from her despising fairies to her having feelings for him. So I'm liking that it wasn't like a major slow burn, but it was just enough for me to actually enjoy the transition that she was feeling. And I like the fact that she isn't chastising herself for feeling this way. Like, she was just slowly coming around to the fact that she likes the way he looks and she likes the way he cares for her and things like that. I just like the fact that she was just allowing herself to feel the way she was feeling. And the whole scene where she showed her paintings, I was just kind of like, this is so cute. And she is so reluctant to allow herself to be happy, which I can totally relate to. I can totally 100% relate to that whole thing. Is like, I am so hard on myself, and I will praise all my friends and build my friends up and constantly try and make them feel good about themselves. But then when it comes to me, I am so hard on myself. I know that I am really bad for it, and I get chastised by my friends all the time for saying negative things about myself, but when it comes to me, I don't see the positives, but when it comes to other people, I do. And it's kind of like she just reminds me of me, because when it comes to herself and her painting and stuff, she was very reluctant to feel sort of proud of what she was doing. All of her earlier paintings she didn't want him to see, and she was very much like, oh well, I'm trying, but it's not that good. And she's not doing it because she wants people to praise her. She's not doing it for the attention. She's saying things because she genuinely doesn't feel like certain things are good enough. And she was shocked to find that she looked so pretty when she was going down and she wore the gown, and Alice did her hair, and it was the first time that she wore a gown, and she's reluctant to sort of feel good about herself. She's not doing it in a way that's cheesy or anything like that, so I'm really happy about that whole thing. We're on track. We're just at the end of chapter 25, which is still over halfway. I already want to get the rest of these books, and I am not sure when I'm going to get around to reading them, given the fact that in June we've got the whatever-a-thon, and I'm hoping to have some employment by then. So I'm not sure what my reading's going to be like, but if I have the funds and the time, I want to get the next books of these, and hopefully if Liam likes the book as well, he'll do a buddy read with me for the rest of the series, maybe. We'll see. So far we're kind of on the same wavelength with it. We're both enjoying it, which I'm really happy about. I've not read the rest of the books, but I have seen the Tamlin Rhysand debate. We've still not found out who that guy was that saved her, but I'm still gonna throw it out there and say it's Rhysand. He's gonna pop up at some point in this book. I know he is, because that's just inevitable, because he's one of the main characters going forward, I think, from what I know. But I've seen, it's not really spoilers for the book, but people have said that like they were a Tamlin stan to start with, and they didn't like Rhysand, and then it flipped, and then people decided to start hating Tamlin and love Rhysand. But I need to know why that is, because at the moment Tamlin is just this tortured soul who didn't want to turn out like his dad and his brothers, and he doesn't want to treat humans as slaves, which is a tick for me. He didn't pressure Vera into doing anything other than living with him, obviously, because that was part of the treaty. It was like a life for a life. He was just abiding by the treaty. So but he did say you can live anywhere in prison. You don't have to stay in this palace with me, or in my home with me. So other than taking it from a family, which yes, we all know was a bad thing to do, but you know, reasons, we understand why. So he gave her whatever she wanted. He fed her, he clothed her, he hasn't pressured her into doing anything that she doesn't want to do. He's tried to keep her safe. I mean, am I missing something? It might come out later that he did this for reasons that were very selfish, and that he was being deceitful or something, because there's still something that he's not telling her. There's still this she and this blight and this situation that he's saying he's doing it to protect her, but he's hiding it from her. He's not talking about it. So he's still keeping that from her. So is that because he's gonna do something to betray her, or is he using her for something? Like, I don't know. Oh, also, I like the sort of nod to the original Beauty and the Beast story that it continues to have throughout the book so far. The slight differences, such as she can't read and write, she loves to paint, whereas Belle loved to read. But then he showed it, so like he showed her the gallery when the Beast showed Elle the library. One thing I don't understand is he's got this mask on, but you can still see his lips and eyes. So I really want to see like a picture of him with the mask on, because I don't understand how it works. So she can still see his lips and eyes, but she doesn't fully see his face, and obviously they can kiss. So is it like covering here and then like up here, so you could just see his like lips and eyes with this mask? I'm guessing, and that would look very weird. But then you've got Lucian with his like fox type mask with his eye. I don't know. I'm finding it hard to envision what these masks look like. And normally I'm quite good at envisioning things. So in my eyes, in my head, I'm seeing Tamlin with his long blonde hair, and then like he's got this mask that literally just shows his eyes and mouth. That's like that's how I see it in my head. But that to me is a very weird type of mask. Like, or is it just like a masquerade type mask that covers his, like, but then she says she can't see his nose. Like, she's envisioning that he's got like a long nose. So it must cover his nose in some way. I don't understand that mask bit. But yeah, I'm very intrigued to continue with the story. I really want to know what is going on. And the end of chapter 5, where she's like, finally letting herself be happy. This is the happiest moment of my life, she said. But I'm guessing now that this is where shit hits the fan. That this is where everything goes wrong. Because it can't just be all hunky-dory and lovey for the rest of the book. So I'm bracing myself for something bad to happen that's gonna rock their world. And if it follows along the same lines as the Beauty and the Beast, so it gets to a point where the Beauty and Beast are really happy, and then he ends up sending her away because he loves her, and then she goes home, and then she comes back to save him. So is it going to follow it that closely? Is it going to be that sort of thing where he'll have to send her home for some reason, and then she's like, oh my god, I love him, and then go back and try and save him from being like killed by some evil person? Is that what it's going to be? Either way, I am loving it. I already think it's going to be 5 stars. I don't know what else to say to you. This is a very long clip. I'm going to have to cut this down. I'm realising that this ACOTAR vlog is going to be a very long vlog. So, I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see what's going on. What's going to happen next. But I need the rest of the books in my hands. Now that I know that I really like this book, I really want the hardcovers. But there's no way I'm paying the kind of money that these are going for right now in hardback. So I'll just have to settle for them in paperback. I'm feeling all kinds of things, and now I'm gonna go back to reading the other things that I've got to read this month, and all I want to do is just sit and read this. Why? I've got an interview in 20 minutes as well, so I've got to get ready for my interview, put some eyebrows on because I've got no eyebrows, and make myself look presentable, because I've got a video interview for El Jabbo. So am I becoming ACOTAR trash on book 1? Probably. Am I mad about it? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But here we are. I am Lisa, and I am becoming ACOTAR trash on book 1. I will see you all in tomorrow when I've read 5 more chapters. Hey, so I've read the next 5 chapters. Like, I don't understand how you can't like this. I am gripped. Look, I've got this much left. I genuinely just want to rip through the rest of this. I've got 2 days left. 2 days worth of reading left. And I am so excited to find out how this ends. Not a whole lot happened in this section. It was, I say that, but it was a relatively slow moving set of chapters compared to the different things that have happened in the previous ones. So we've now gone, she found Alice in the home. She went back to get Tamlin and then found the house empty, and then found Alice walking around gathering things to leave, and Alice spilled everything apart from this one little thing that she still can't say, but she wants, because of the curse that was placed on Tamlin and his court. Even though Amaranth is now technically, as far as she's concerned, she's won, she still said that there's one thing that, despite that, she can't say, which is bugging the crap out of me. I like everything. I don't know what to say. I like everything. So I like how it follows the skeleton plot of Beauty and the Beast, but you can also appreciate that it is different. And I like how she's done that. I like how she's done it. Oh God, I don't know. I'm scared for Fairy though. That Amarantha, she's a good villainous character. I will give her that. She's a good villainous character. And Rhysand, I'm confused about, because he knows who Fairy is. He knows what she looks like, but he's pretending that he doesn't know who she is, and saying that all humans look the same, but then he recognised her at the home, at Tamlin's home. So I'm not sure what his game plan is. I'm really confused. Maybe he's got a thing for her and thinks that he can get with her or something. I don't know. It's a bit weird. He's a bit weird. Lucian is just such a loyal friend, isn't he? He's just such a loyal friend. He's such a sweetheart. Everybody needs a Lucian in their life, as far as I'm concerned. I just think he's great, and I hope he continues to be great, because even though he was stuck underneath the mountain, he still went and helped her, knowing that if he got caught, he would probably also get the crap beaten out of him or tortured in some way. So that was so cute. Also, this isn't the smuttiest book I've ever read, which is not a bad thing. A lot of this book is the journey from her hating Faye to like falling in love with one. It's a journey, so it's not going to be that smutty, but the violence, like the description of like blood and gore, it's not overly graphic, but it is quite graphic. Or maybe it's just because in my head when she says like the rotting corpse of Claire, or when she was describing the stubs and the wings of the fairy and the blood, in my head I can see it all happening and it grosses me out. But in a good way, because she's describing it in a way that makes me think, and it draws you in, which is what a writer's supposed to do. I just think her writing style is really good as well. But her writing style in this is very different to the Assassin's Blade. Reading this makes me want to maybe go read Throne of Glass. I've got Throne of Glass. Although I'm not a fan of Selena in Throne of Glass, but I'm a fan of Feyre in this. And my opinion of Nesta has also changed. Did I say that yesterday? My opinion of Nesta has totally changed. I just want everything to be okay, but I know it's not going to be for a long time, possibly. And the thing that gets me as well is that she said she would break the curse immediately if she could work out the riddle. But as Fairy keeps sort of playing over in her head, and what I was thinking was, she didn't say that she would release them immediately if she could pass her 3 tasks. She said that she would release them, but she didn't say when. She didn't say how she would set them free. Although Fairy got her to be specific about some parts of the bargain, she neglected to get everything specified. My predictions for what's going to happen is Fairy will complete all 3 tasks. Then she'll think that that means she can be with Tamlin and they can be set free and everything will be fine. And then I think Amaranth is going to be like, bitch, I didn't say when I was going to set you free. I could keep you here till your human body dies and then set everyone else free as and when I choose, because they're like basically immortal, aren't they? They're going to stay here and you're not going to live to see Tamlin released. She could do that. She could do that. And I think she will. I think she will, because she's an evil bitch. I'm pleasantly surprised at how much I like this, but I really do like it. And I've also bought Crescent City, and I am going to get the rest of the books. The one thing I do regret is that they're not in hardback, but if I can get the whole collection in paperback, I'll be fine. It's probably going to be Sunday night that I update you now with like what I think of the rest of the book, because I'll be reading it when I'm over with my family and I don't know if and when I'll get a chance to vlog over there. I will see you on Sunday when we can wrap up this vlog and I can tell you my final thoughts. And I'm so excited. Bye. Hi. How are you? Today is Saturday and it's almost 12 o'clock. I'm going to my family's house today, but I just wanted to, let's discuss ACOTAR. Where do we start? Where do we start? So, Reason saved her, but then tricked her into a deal. Well, was it a trick? We still don't know. Wingspan. We got to see the wings, people. I don't know if I like Reese or not. I don't know why he's helping her. It's probably some, it's obviously going to be a selfish reason, but it's confusing because he clearly hates Tamlin. I don't know what it is between those two. I don't know if it's just, it can't just be because they're from different courts. There must be some background situation that hasn't been revealed yet. I'm liking where this is going, but I'm not liking where this is going. He saved her twice, technically though, didn't he? Because he saved her when she had the bone through her arm, and I'm glad that she did the first task by herself. But this second task is frustrating because I wanted it to be like her defeating the tasks by herself, and he sort of helped her finish the second one. I'm hoping that she does the third one by herself and she completes it, and then whatever happens, but I want her to be the one that finishes the third trial, and I don't want him to be helping her again, because for me it takes me away from it when it's the fairy helping her. So there's that. And Lucian is just forever the loyal friend, isn't he? The fact that he got punished and it had to be at Tamlin's hand broke my stony cold heart. I don't understand why Reese is doing it. Obviously he sees something in Feyre that she doesn't see. Did he only save her and then make that deal with her because he has some kind of insta love sort of infatuation with her? Or did he do that because he just wants to use her as a human puppet, and she seemed like because she was Tamlin's she would be a good human to play with? I don't understand his motives behind it, but I really want to know. I'm excited to see what the end of the book holds. I'm nervous about where it's going to go. I don't know what to do. I really hope this doesn't have a really crappy ending now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, those were my very rambly thoughts. I will update you tomorrow night when I come home after reading the last bit of the book. Is there anything that I missed? Oh, yeah. One thing that kind of made me cringe was the drugging and dancing that he made her do. I'm glad that it didn't go any further than that. Although it still made me feel a bit sick that he'd done that. I'm glad it's kind of stopped there. One thing I do know about future books is that people's opinions of Rhysand change. And some people love Rhysand, some people love Tamlin. But in order for people to love Rhysand, clearly he has some redeeming qualities. But I don't understand fully how that kind of behaviour could be forgiven. To force her into this deal and things like that, like, that's quite toxic. It's quite a toxic thing to do, to sort of force someone to spend time with you like that. Like, if you go too deep, if you look at it on a basic surface level, it's a good storyline, it's a good plot, and it's a good twist to the story, and it keeps things entertaining. But if you do look at it any deeper than that, it is quite toxic. And I'm kind of worried that she's going to be getting feelings because he's saved her twice now. I really don't want her to warm to him because, I don't know, I think if that ever turned into anything, starting a relationship like that is just really fucking toxic. Really bad. Okay, back to real life now. I'm going to have to go and get ready. Bye. Hey. So, I'm back. Ignore the messy hair. I'm back to give my final update on the thoughts. So, let me just try and gather all my thoughts. So, I read this Sunday night now. I read the rest of this morning. So, what I thought happened, like what I thought was going to happen, happened. So she completed the trials, and I was like, there's going to be another twist, because the final trial, I just knew it wouldn't be easy. And when she lifted off, when the thing was lifted off, and it was Tamlin underneath there, I was like, bitch. But I'd already picked up on in my brain that he had a heart of stone, so it was up there in my noggin. And then as she was figuring it out, I was like, yeah, that's it. And I was just like, it was great. And then when everything turned, just the way that the narrator was like, nothing happened, the masks were still on. And I was thinking, oh my god, I knew it, the spell isn't broken. And then just as she was dying, she said it was love. If you're good at riddles, you'd have probably figured the riddle out ages ago. And you're probably screaming at the book, like, it's love, it's love, it's love. But I'm rubbish at working riddles out. And I was just as bamboozled as Farah was. So yeah, that was that. Rhysand. So I started out really disliking Rhysand for obvious reasons, and the whole point of it is that it's from Farah's point of view, so she's an unreliable narrator. So we see Rhysand as this evil fairy that's tried to take possession of her, to get back at Tamlin, to be spiteful. And it really does go to show that sometimes, even though I was constantly intrigued reading from Farah's perspective, a first person narrative, you really honestly don't get the whole picture. And in a way, I'm kind of glad we don't. I liked that it unfolded, and I liked the vulnerable side of Rhysand when it was like, you're the only person that I can tell this stuff to. There'll be no repercussions for me telling you this. I kind of think he told Farah that partly because she was the only person he could tell it to, but partly because I think he'd started to sort of feel something. I don't know, that could be me reading too much into it, and he might not start feeling anything for her until further down the line, if at all. But we'll come to that bit in a second. I know that something happens between them, whether they get together or not, because I've not seen any full spoilers, but obviously I've heard people shipping Rhysand or shipping her and Tamlin, so I do know that something does happen, whether it's more than just a flirtation or a dalliance, I don't know, but obviously something does happen. I'm looking forward to finding out more of this thing, whether it's just a friendship that leads to a flirtatious kiss or whatever, I don't know. I'm hoping it's going to be more than that in a way, but in a way she's gone through all this to get Tamlin back. I don't want anything to happen with her and Rhysand that could potentially ruin or make what she's done for the rest of for the whole of this book, or what she's gone through for the whole of this book pointless. Because if she then just drops Tamlin to go for Rhysand after putting herself through all this because she loves Tamlin, then what was the point of this book? I don't understand. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Anyway, that's that. And the ending, I'm glad Amaranth's dead. I'm glad she's done for. But the thing that made me cry, I was sat there, and it wasn't like sobbing, but it was like silent tears just streaming down my face, was when she could see herself through Rhysand's eyes, and then she saw all the High Lords dropping their sparks onto Farah to save her. Obviously when she was dying I knew she didn't stay dead, but I didn't know how she came back, because obviously we've got the rest of the books and Farah's in them, so you know, I just knew she didn't stay dead. But the way that, again, I might have felt more emotional because I was listening to it at the same time, so I'm going to listen to the rest of them. It just made me cry when he was leaning over her, and then Rhysand came over, and then he did his bit, and then it was like, oh, this makes it even. And when it came to the end, the last trial, when nobody was backing Amarantha, and the feeling in the room was like, nobody was jeering Farah, nobody was, well, it said there was a few laughs and sort of like jeers in the background, but a lot of the fear, you could just, you got the feeling that they wanted her to beat Amarantha, they wanted her to beat the curse. And now that she'd gone through all of that, they could sort of see a light at the end of the tunnel when she'd got to the final task. And I think up until that point, maybe people didn't want to believe that she could do it because she was a human. I'm kind of glad that we sort of saw shifting how the other fairies of the court were sort of acting towards or felt towards her. And that thing that they all got together and brought her back was just like a total 180 from what probably would have happened at the beginning. Nobody would have saved her. And then at the end, when there was that little thing with Rhysand where it said that where did it say? So at the end here, when it said his eyes locked on mine, wide and wild, and his nostrils flared, pure shock flashed over his features at whatever he saw on my face, and he stumbled back a step, actually stumbled, and then she was like, what is? And then he just disappeared. So I think at that moment when he looked at her, he felt something more than just an appreciation for the fact that she's saved everybody. Or it could be that he's just seen something really dark inside her and didn't want to tell her. I don't know, just the way that he was acting towards her up until that point. I know that he was doing it, he sort of explained why he was doing what he was doing. But I also think that during that time, because he spent so much time with her, and because he'd opened up to her, maybe I'm reading too much into it, I don't know. At that point, maybe there was some chemistry there, because clearly she finds him attractive. I don't just think he did all this to help Tamlin. My theory is that end bit was him sort of coming to a realisation that maybe now that she's like a fae and he saw her in a slightly different light, that he sort of felt something that he didn't want to feel or didn't expect to feel. Maybe. So, what we are going to be doing is wrapping up this vlog, and then I have ACOMAF and ACOWAR, but I do want to wait. I don't want to wait, I'm going to wait until I can buddy read them with Liam, because I'm hoping we can buddy read the full series. I'm hoping, because he had the same thoughts as me. We both loved it. We both loved it. Until next time, enjoy. Hope you've liked my rambly thoughts on my first ever read of ACOTAR, because I'm probably going to read it again. In fact, I know I will read it again. I will see you all very soon. Probably in another vlog, because that tends to be the majority of what I do. Bye.